Okay, hello everybody. You should be able to hear me now. This is Chris reaching out to you guys from EasyAgentPro. Let me just go ahead and make sure that I've got my screen share set up correctly. I hope everybody's doing good today. We are going to be talking about squeeze pages in particular. I just had to undock my my little. There we go. Okay, now we should be sharing properly at this time. So I hope everybody's doing great today. This is kind of coming on the heels of a really fabulous webinar that we kind of went through yesterday. Hope that some of you folks were on that. We were talking about basically just what some of our agents have been doing during this time of crisis, honestly, and basically the what we have going on. Sorry, I just got a little note here. It says I had some feedback. And let me just make sure that my audio is okay. Just want to make sure I'm not screeching at you guys. Amanda, I'm excited to have you in here today. Thank you so much for joining us. We got Laura as well. We got Troy and Jeff. And yeah, let's just go ahead and proceed. So yesterday we were talking about, basically what folks have been doing, to kind of really stay on top of things at this time. Definitely a troubling moment, for not only the real estate industry, but for, a lot of folks out there. So, we talked a little bit about, kind of the best things to be doing. And, some of our agents really agreed that, now is not necessarily the time to be scaling back in terms of the content that you're creating or, advertisements that you might be running. Now is definitely the time to be, kind of diving into those things. I think that the real, kind of key that Karen Carr, one of our, rock star agents, kind of put here is that, we have, more so now than ever as a real estate agent, you have an audience that is right there in front of you on their computer. They are, basically, ready to receive information from you. And it's just a good time to have some really strong messaging. So one of our best tools for reaching out to folks and, kind of engaging in that a little bit is what we call squeeze. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So we're not going to be talking about, if you guys have any ideas for, some specifics, for campaigns of some kind like that, feel free to drop them in the chat there on the YouTube, kind of on the right-hand side of things. And we can cover those a little bit. I'm just going to be showing you, some of the best ways that you can be basically setting up a squeeze page and, kind of getting something going, so that you're getting a little engagement, you're contacting folks, and you're, basically doing the best that you can right now. So I am just going to go ahead and pull up our demo site here. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop over to our leads table. If you guys have been with EasyAgentPro for a while, you know that we have a CRM that is integrated as a part of our system. Really has done a lot to help folks, kind of engage with their funnel and engage with their lead stream and really kind of move things all under one hood, which has been, I think, a really great addition to the services that we're providing here. I was just talking to a demo call right before this for a long time about these functionalities. So it's really kind of fresh on my mind right now. So let's say, for example, we're going to do a theoretical squeeze page, and we are going to be just kind of targeting folks that, might be, let's say, for example, because we don't want to do anything too opportunistic right now, but we're going to, reach out to folks that might be looking to buy a house, but are trying to maybe putting that on pause. Those are still, folks that you want to engage with. You don't want to make somebody feel like if they are, kind of reallocating that down payment right now to, kind of helping themselves weather the storm, you don't want to make them feel like they're not your client anymore. You want to get those folks, you want to get your hands on them. You want to get them reassured, let them know that, in 3-4 months, when things are back on track, I can help you sell your home. So, or buy a home or anything along those lines. So we're going to kind of work in reverse order. We're going to start with the campaign that we're going to send people. And then we are going to create a path for it. And then we're going to create the squeeze page for it. And that'll make sense, kind of as I go through here. So let's go here and we're going to start with campaigns. So this is the EasyAgentPro CRM. If you guys are using an external CRM, a lot of these same principles apply. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click new campaign here. So we're going to create a new drip campaign that's going to be, just for the sake of demonstration, it's going to be an email and a text. And we're going to call this, new home buyer, let's say Q2 2020. And I accidentally pressed the enter button. So now it's loading the campaign. Let me go ahead and refresh this here. And we are just bringing up the campaign creator again. So we are going to call this new home buyer Q2 2020. And I hate when I accidentally correct my grammar there. So we're going to add a couple steps to this campaign. Now remember, our end goal is going to be a landing page that's going to be inviting folks basically just to be getting a little bit of information about the home buying process. So I'm going to go ahead and add a step to this campaign. And so as you can see, we have 3 steps that we can choose from here: email, a delay, or a text message. Let's just start with an email. And if you have any saved emails in the back end, you're going to see them from this drop down here, but I'm just going to go ahead and say create new. And we're going to see that we have one to describe here. So I'm just going to keep my nomenclature all in order here. I'm going to call this new home buyer Q2 2020 email 1. This is just the descriptor internally. So this is not anything that the client sees. Subject line, thank you so much for reaching out. And I'm actually going to also include this variable here. These are really cool. You guys probably recognize these from other CRMs that you might have used. What this does is that it basically just pulls the lead's first name automatically so that it's part of the email, which is pretty neat. So it's like, that's going to say, thank you so much for reaching out. And then if I had filled it out, it would say Chris, something along those lines. And then in the body of the email, let's just keep it light. We understand this is a hard time for, our clients right now. So I just want to get you up to date on the best home buying information available at the moment. We want you to feel good about buying when that day comes, and then, so it's just some copy like that, something along those lines. I'm going to go ahead and save email. Karen in particular had described that she was doing like a whole home buyers course. She had spent an entire day filming videos that were kind of broken down into 2-minute chunks about, basically how you can buy a home. And, instead of scrapping it, she's just like, let's just get it out there. And so this is kind of along that idea. And then let's add a step. Let's go ahead and do a delay here. And then you can so these are just our preset delays, but you can also create a new delay here. So we're going to do, let's say, a delay of 1 day, as you can see there. And then we're going to add a text message, create new SMS. And again, this is just our description. So I am going to be smart about it. I'm going to copy my descriptor. I'm going to say text 1 after it. And just touching base to make sure you and your family are doing okay during this time. Please let me know if you have any questions about buying a home that I can help with, and then maybe just pop in your phone number there too at the end. Again, with the EasyAgentPro CRM, what's cool about these text messages is if you pay for a custom texting number, it's about $15 a month, folks can text you back. So you can get threaded text messages in the back end of the CRM. If you don't want to pay for it, that's totally fine. They are just kind of one-way notifiers. So we definitely recommend that you, kind of include some other contact info there. And then go ahead and save that text message. And then we're going to confirm it. And it just refreshed back to the campaign builder again. So let's go back here. And it looks like I'm just kind of had just a minor issue with kind of saving the campaign. I probably pressed the wrong button, something along those lines. So if we go back in here to save text, We're seeing that my message is here, and then also saved emails. We're seeing that, you know, our message is here as well. So that's this one right here with the descriptor. So let's just say, just for the time being, that we have a campaign set up here. We're just going to go ahead and use November new leads as our example campaign. So we've set up our campaign. We have the drip campaign ready to go. Now we're going to pop over to paths. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a path so that we can assign to a squeeze page that campaign. And I've actually already done this here in this November new leads section. So if we go in here, I'm just going to edit it to kind of show you this. Basically what you do is, like, when you use this path in any app, you want to send them to a CRM campaign. You can do that. What we also might want to do is we might want to do some automatic tagging as well. And then this will just import your tags from your CRM. So because this is a theoretical, you know, squeeze campaign for, you know, buyers in particular, what we're going to be doing is just kind of tagging them as buyer. If you wanted to add, you know, different tags of some nature, you can just click this create new tag button right here. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And it says loading, and then that little check mark means that we're done here. So now, right now, we've created a path and we've created a campaign. So basically, any lead that comes in that's going to be assigned this path is going to get that campaign and is going to be tagged as a buyer. So now our final step is going to be to make that squeeze page. So this is where we are actually going to get you know, some of that good information here. So we are popping into the app section and we're going into squeeze. And I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to create a brand new squeeze page here. And let's go ahead and we're just going to use this template just for the sake of demonstration. EAP Homes, you know, we help our clients make better decisions. Let's work together to make the home buying process as smooth and easy as possible. So a lot of this copy is actually kind of, it works for our purposes, which is this theoretical, you know, drip campaign that's going to get folks, you know, information about, you know, how to buy a home during this time. You can edit all this copy, of course, you know, so, you know, maybe we'll do something like, let us help you navigate buying a home during this difficult time. Or maybe we wouldn't say difficult time, maybe navigate buying a home, you know, during this difficult time. Let's go ahead and say difficult time. It's a difficult time, no matter how you kind of mark it up. You can change, of course, any of the information on this page. So it's like if you wanted to change this image to somebody else, a family, a house, something along those lines, you can do that. You have your fields here where you can hide any of these. So if we wanted to hide first name and last name, we could do that. Email. Let's go ahead and leave phone number up because we have texting. And we can change this as well. So let's go ahead and hide this field because we'll just say that is a little bit superfluous for our purposes. And then you can see that you can kind of edit all this information down here. So we're going to be able to, you know, kind of post in various other, you know, kind of information. So yeah, so this is great. So basically with a squeeze page, you can kind of really adjust your messaging how you want it to be. For our purposes, you know, this is all about, you know, how to buy a home now, how to get some information about buying a home, you know, kind of when the time comes. So we're going to do a couple things here. We are going to click on this little paths icon down at the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and activate it onto this thing, November new leads test. I'm going to click OK. So now what is going to happen then, and since we've already set this up in the back end, is that any lead that's captured via this form is going to be added to that drip campaign that created, and they're also going to be tagged as a buyer lead. You can do a couple other things here. So we can also set yourself to receive a notification when somebody comes in. You can also send a message right off the top too. So if you wanted to send a message to a user that was filling out this particular form, we could absolutely do that. You know, so thank you so much for signing up for our buyer info. Please let me know if you have any further questions. And then again, just going to kind of include my, phone number here because unless you have the texting number, these are one-way notifications. This is where you can, so if we were going to be running this on Facebook as a Facebook ad, and you had your Facebook pixel installed in a different part of the website, you would just go ahead and activate those. You would pop in your SEO title and SEO description here. So need help with buying a home during this time. We have all the right info, oops, to get you set up moving forward. Something along those lines. SEO title and SEO description are important because that's what Google actually scrapes from the page to use as a descriptor. So those can be, kind of definitely keyed a little bit more towards keywords and things along those lines. And then finally here, we just set an image for social sharing. Let's go to our media library. And this one looks pretty good. It's kind of somebody that's stressed out. And we will set that for social sharing. So that is good to go. So we've edited our page. We've kind of set up the functions that we want to happen. So again, I'll reiterate here. This is going to go down our drip campaign that we made. These folks are going to get the text messages that we've set up, all that good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and click Done Editing. And then you have a couple options here. So you have a download, a redirect, or a thank you page. For the redirect, I think what we can probably do, and then let's see if that guide to selling a home is up here, but there is also a guide to buying a home that is part of the EasyAgentPro platform too. So what we could do is kind of just link directly to that. So let me go ahead and pull that page up. Or we could change it to a download. Say we have like a PDF of some kind that we want to do. Say, for example, this was your guide to buying a home, and it looks like this is just a PDF that we have here. Go ahead and save that. And then what we're going to do is click Launch. We're going to call this squeeze page. Let's see, what are we going to call this squeeze page? We're going to call it Home Buyer's Guide and just Home Buyer's Guide. And now if we go ahead and we open this up on a new browser window here, we're going to see a couple things. So this is basically what the client is going to see. You guys see like your login bar up top and then also the ability to edit it within Squeeze. But this is what the client would see. So you're going to see it says need help with buying a home during this time. That's our SEO title that we gave to the page. And then all that other information on it. If they scroll down here and they click Get in Touch, they're kind of redirected up top. So I am just going to go ahead and sign myself up here. Say you ran a Facebook ad to this. Let's just give this a sign up as my dog. And we're going to go ahead and give a cell number here. And then we're just going to go ahead and pop in request a call. And once that lead converts, you see that that person actually gets that download right away. So in the bottom left-hand corner, you should be able to see that the upload says it's that invitation.pdf, but if that was like your buyer's guide that you were giving out, you'd get that immediately. Now, what's also cool about this, I'll go ahead and click download just to kind of end up redirecting it. So boom, so the target has been made. The person has the option here to share this out to Facebook or Twitter. Definitely an option. We also got, and then I'll see if I can't share this necessarily because it's on my phone, but I also did receive the text message. That instant notification that we had set up in the backend kind of came into my cell phone there. And then if we go back into the backend here, let's go back out. We're going to exit the editor. And we're going to go back to our app section. And we're going to go back out to the lead section. we are going to see our new email here. Tilly, my wonderful dog, we're going to see that she has been tagged as a buyer. If we go into that lead's information here, and we go over to campaigns, we're going to see that they have been signed up basically for that campaign that we've created. So next step, that email will be sent, basically tomorrow, and then everything that would basically happen thereafter. So we have that lead converted. We know that they're a buyer because we can see that as the tag here. Say in the future that we wanted to, reassess these buyers, say in 2 months, we haven't really heard too much, but we have a little bit more information on, kind of what's going on. It seems like it's going to be a good time to buy a home. We can open up our filters here, and then we can search by tag. We can find everybody that we've had basically set up as a buyer. We can select those leads, and then we can do a couple things. We can just send them a single email, or we can just get them back on another campaign. So maybe we've set up a secondary campaign that we can add these folks on again. So let's go ahead and add these folks to long-term Thanksgiving drip. This is, again, just an example campaign. And if we go back into this particular lead, and we go over to campaigns, we're going to see that this one is now on 2 campaigns. Next one would be sent the day after that. So that is just, kind of a top to bottom, way that you would basically set it up so that you're running a squeeze page and getting information to those folks that is relevant to what they want. The real important thing here is that you can tag these folks however you want as well. So you can tag them as a buyer. That way, you know that this lead is being kept track of. In 4 or 5 months, maybe you want to, re-engage with some folks that have come in again. You can have as many tags as you want on a particular lead. So you can have folks be tagged as, buyer lead March 2020. So you can kind of keep them, in track, or keep track of them rather, by the actual particular months that they came on, or the actual squeeze page. Another thing that you can do too is that we can go into the filters here, and we can actually sort by the squeeze page itself. So that home buyer's guide squeeze page that we ran, again, only my wonderful dog Tilly signed up for that one. So, you're going to see those folks too. So you can filter by squeeze page. You can filter by lead type. So you can see where folks have just come from. You can filter by anybody that's coming from the squeeze page at all. And then let's go ahead and scrub that option. So this is going to be any lead, any squeeze page, or again, by tag. So absolutely recommend when you guys are setting up squeeze pages to be utilizing that paths integration to actually, get them tagged a certain way and get them on drip campaigns. But as you saw, you kind of work top to or bottom to top of the funnel. So you start with that drip campaign, and then you head over to paths, and then you actually set up the squeeze page. So yeah, that's a little bit of the, kind of the functionality of how the CRM, works with folks. We had a great question here. How many squeeze pages do most EAP users have on average? That's a really good question. So I would say the, users of EasyAgentPro that are the most successful clients we have dozens of squeeze pages. Squeeze page, like an Instafarm page, it's a good idea to have a lot of them. You can set that SEO title and description on the actual squeeze pages. I would recommend just setting up squeeze pages for particular offers. If you have a squeeze page, say you have a neighborhood you're representing, Thousand Oaks, and you're farming that for leads, and you have an Instafarm page set up, make a Thousand Oaks squeeze page as well, just for more information about it. It's just a good idea to have a lot of them, even if you have 3-4 dozen of them, because we don't cap the amount that you can have. It's not a bad idea just to have them, even if you're not running an ad for every single squeeze page that you have out there. It's just a good idea to have a lot. I would say definitely the most successful EAP users have a lot of squeeze pages. Great question. Thanks for that. All right. So does anybody else have any other questions about squeeze pages or things along those lines? Again, a really... So we have Amanda asks, do you just advertise on Facebook or do you do Google ads as well? Really, really good question. So I would say that most Easy Agent Pro clients are doing Facebook ads in particular, but there are also a lot of folks out there that are working on Google ads as well. So I would say Facebook, although Facebook ads do kind of have a little bit of a learning curve when it kind of comes to logging in, doing the dashboard and all that good stuff. Those can convert really, really well for the amount of money that you're spending on them. With Google ads, you're often competing with folks that have a huge budget that are trying to secure that top spot. With Facebook ads, if you can find a little bit of a niche, you can really advertise to those folks for the actual particular kind of niche that you're going for. So I would say even though it's a good idea to advertise on both, Facebook is definitely the one that I would recommend for most agents that are just starting out. And the really great thing about Easy Agent Pro is that we provide the training to actually learn how to do those things. So if you're with the AP and you want to know how to do a Facebook ad, just let us know and we will absolutely knock that out of the park for you. We'll do a screen share. We'll help you run the first one. We'll help you see, kind of what the results were like, all that good stuff. Yeah, I would definitely recommend, Facebook ads in particular. And let's see, so we have another question here. Can you show in Squeeze Pages how you can see the leads traffic for each effort you make? Yeah, great question. So if you go into the Squeeze app, you can see kind of at a glance what your kind of results that you're garnering are. So if we go into Squeeze here, and then we kind of look at all of our ads on the side here, we can see our views and leads for each one. So this is our demo site, so we don't have a huge amount of traffic on each one of these, but you can see at a glance, within Squeeze where, a lot of those views and leads might be coming from. So if you have a Squeeze page that's performing particularly well, you're going to be getting a running tally over here of, which one is doing well. You can also see that on the dashboard too. So if you have Google Analytics connected to your site, which we highly recommend, if you pop over to the dashboard here, and you say you ran a Squeeze page and it's been doing really well, you're going to see that that is one of the most top visited pages on the actual website itself. So you're going to see that here as well. That's a really great question. Thanks so much for pointing that out. And I think that we had one more question here. Nope, I think that was it. Thank you so much, Amanda. I really appreciate you asking a couple of really great questions today. So fantastic. So, okay, in that event, guys, thank you so much for joining us today for this little session about Squeeze pages. Definitely just wanted to kind of sketch out exactly how a Squeeze page integrates in with our CRM and a lot of our other tools. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. My email is chris@easyagentpro.com. And like always, this particular webinar is going to be available for viewing actually, on our YouTube channel as soon as we're done here. So you can kind of come back and review this at any point in time. So thank you so much for joining us today, guys. Hopefully we will be talking to you soon, and take care.